Hey everybody, again, long time no see. Just been taking care of business, you know how it goes. What we got here today, when I changed the fuel pump out of this fuel tank about 6 years ago, there was a little combination valve that goes with the fuel pump. And by the way, this applies to 75 through 78 pickups with the 20R carburetors, of course. It may apply to others, but I can tell you this definitely 75 to 78. There's a little anti-drainback valve and the combination overflow valve that goes on the little piece of hose on the fuel pump in the tank. It acts as a bypass to circulate gas in the tank to keep it cool, but more importantly, it acts as an anti-drainback valve that keeps fuel in your feed line to your carburetor. Well, when I changed the pump, I left that out. So when I shut off the truck, if I let it sit for a day or so, the gas drains back through the line all the way back to the tank. The line's almost nearly empty. This line here, through this convenient port that we have here, thanks to the rust. Here's the feed line. Here's where it's connected right there. It goes down there, and connects to a hard line, steel. So it probably drains back to that point where it just starts to come up. There might still be gas in this, I don't know. But it's pretty much no gas in the line at all. So when I go to cold start a day or more later, you got to crank and crank and crank so the pump works and shoves gas through the line all the way up to the front, and that takes time. That's not good for your battery or your starter over the long term. So we're going to put a aftermarket anti-drainback valve in that line. These are available all over the place, especially on eBay. They range anywhere from $7 to $20, depends on who you get them from. I got this from a U.S. supplier. There's a little arrow on there, shows the direction of flow. You want that arrow pointing towards the front of the truck, towards the carburetor, and it prevents gas from going back in this way. So we're basically just going to cut that line right there and stick it in with a couple of these clamps. And I'm going to take this piece of heater hose and wrap it around the body of this and zip tie it so it doesn't rattle on the tank and make a lot of noise or damage it. So I'm going to get that done and I'll show you how it looks like. There you go, that's with it in line. You can see the arrow on the right side pointing forward towards the front of the truck, that way. Just got to get the sleeve over top of this now for the anti-rattle. May not need it because this is holding way up here, but I'm going to take no chances on this and cover it up anyway. There we go. Got a piece of heater hose on there. A zip tie. It's up in the air, but even so, it's a lot better than metal thunking on metal. So there you go. So again, if you're changing out the fuel pumps in these, don't throw away that little valve. Make sure you reuse it on your new pump. If you suspect the valve's bad, or you lose it, or it's not there, or you forget, you don't want to drop the tank out again, which I know is a bear. You can get these. Just make sure, again, for this 75 to 78, I actually had a spec on this, on that valve. They're an Italian design. The opening pressure on it is 2.3 psi. The stock pump, in-tank pump, for the stock carb on these is 5 to 8 psi. So it's not going to affect anything as far as fuel feed or fuel flow. And as long as it's spec'd for petrol, for diesel, anything like that, insides are good. It'll hold up to gas, no problem. So there you go, just a little thing. I'm going to attack a bigger problem next, coming up next. Don't know how long it's going to take me. Don't know when I'll get posted. But I will post that because it's a very unusual problem for these earlier trucks. Going back into the 60s, believe it or not. I'll explain it all. You'll see it. Stay tuned. As usual, thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody that subscribed and continues to subscribe. I cannot tell you what that means to me. It means a lot. Appreciate it all. Appreciate y'all. See you later.